Welcome back to the Oddcast, everybody. We're on to episode 3 now. Today we are talking about D23.
I must admit, it was a very disappointing D23. It wasn't like a proper D23. It wasn't like the actual convention that they have along with the announcements. It's kind of like a filler for in between D23 years. But there were some announcements that were made about parks and movies and that kind of thing.
There were some announcements that I'm actually genuinely excited for.
Such as?
Definitely the new Ice Age film, because I am one of those people who grew up with the Ice Age films.
Okay.
We're both looking forward to Hopper.
Oh, is that for obvious reasons?
For obvious reasons, yes.
Lizard!
I was about to say, cue the little green...
Lizard. To be fair...
Where's my lightsaber?
To be fair, I haven't sent you a lizard TikTok for a little while.
To be fair, I'm the last one who sent you the lizard TikTok.
Yes,
I sent
absolutely.
you one not that long ago. Whoops.
Yesterday. So
hey, that was actually a good one. Come on.
I mean, yeah, but I did get in trouble for spamming you with lizard TikToks.
Yes.
Which will continue to happen. Purely because you don't like it.
Send help.
Lizard. Send lizards. So the lizard is
All
also...
I'm going to say is you are going to cry if the pin they make for that character is disappointing.
No, it'll be an epic pin. It's going to
Okay.
be so good. And we're going to get the plushies. And then officially the lizard will become the mascot of our channel. If I can help it. Because the lizard is cool. And it makes me laugh. And it makes you cry. And therefore, it's a win. But apparently he's connected to this Hopper movie somehow.
Apparently that's what he's been advertised as. I'm assuming
That's where he comes
that's
from.
where he comes from.
But the actual meme originally came from like an end of credit scene from the current movie that's out. I've already forgotten what it's called.
No, he was part of a trailer for...
a trailer
Hopper.
for this.
It was a cinematic trailer
Gotcha.
for Hopper.
Okay, so Hopper is coming out, and all I know about it is that it's got the lizard in it.
I'm actually looking forward to Hopper, actually, because I saw that trailer really, really early on, and it did make me giggle. It looks...
Was that before the meme?
Yes, that was before the meme. And it looks almost old school thinking Pixar, which is
Okay.
why I'm so excited about it.
Okay, I'm going to flood this video with lizards, just randomly spot them out. Just because I
Are you going to play Spot the Lizard with our viewers? Oh,
What
Just
a great idea!
no!
What a great idea! Okay.
What have I just unleashed?
So maybe, we won't do this now because I haven't planned this in any way, shape or form, but maybe in future episodes, there will be a lizard appearing somewhere on the screen. And if you comment with a timestamp of when it appears, we'll send you a prize.
What have I just unleashed? I'm so sorry, viewers.
Lizard rules!
No!
What a great idea. What a great idea.
I hate my neurodivergent brain sometimes.
Okay, well, I'm going to look into that, how we can actually get the lizard involved in these videos and turn it into a prize giveaway.
Boy.
So that's a future project. So yeah, Hopper, game on. It's going to change everything. What else was there then, other than the lizard?
So there was the lizard. There was a threat of Incredibles 3.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I'll be quite up for that, actually, to be honest, because numbers 1 and 2 were great. I actually quite like 2 a lot, probably more than the first one.
I grew up with 1 and thoroughly enjoyed 2 when it came out. So I've got very good high hopes for Incredibles 3 that they were threatening. So
yeah, no, that would be
I
really
think
good
it's gonna
actually.
do well.
So I'd be quite excited for that. I think of all of the kind of like the animated, because very rarely will I get overly enthusiastic about a lot of like animated movies. Because my niche is probably more like the Marvel stuff, the Star Wars stuff, and a few Disney things sprinkled in. But I think Hopper I'd give a chance to, just purely because it's
lizard.
There's a lizard. and yeah, Incredibles is actually one that I do like quite a lot.
Yeah, we need to talk about the things that weren't in D23 in a minute as well.
Oh, yeah,
because there were things that I felt were definitely missing. I don't know about you.
Oh, there was a lot missing that I felt like they should have been announcing or talking about at least, and they gave absolutely nothing.
I was expecting more to do with there he is.
The first thing you see when you start Googling what happened at D23 is a video of the lizard.
Another Toy Story film?
Yes.
That's going to be...
Yes. Now, okay, so this is what, the 5th one?
This will be the 5th one, yes.
All right. Now, okay. Now, first of all, it's a Toy Story movie, which means it's going to be good.
Yes.
All right. It's going to be good, and it'll be worth watching. And I will want to go and see it because Toy Story is the one animation that I definitely grew up on. That was always the thing for me. Was
I
Toy
grew
Story.
up on Toy Stories as well.
So,
yes.
Toy Story will be one that I'll want to see. But at the same time, I will also say, why are they still making Toy Story movies?
Because they can make money.
Because the third one finished perfectly.
Yes.
It did not need to carry on any further than that. It had that massive, like, emotional ending and goodbyes and everything, and it was just a nice way to actually finish off not just that one movie, but the franchise as a whole. It was a very sad ending, but a poignant ending, and it made a lot of sense. So then they did the fourth one. And
that one wasn't as good as the previous 3 films, I must admit.
No, it wasn't.
However, you look at this and you look at the pictures of what they've released as well in particular, like, it is going into the more modern era.
Yeah.
Like, you can see what they're going for, and I think they're actually going to do quite well with it. Plus, Tim Allen is back as Buzz Lightyear.
Well, it's things like, toys versus iPads is obviously like a really relevant kind of thing to talk about. But at the same time, I don't know, I just sort of feel like seeing Toy Story movies come back now as an adult, it just isn't going to hit in the same way that it did way back then.
They're also trying to capture on the new younger market as well. As I said, it's a lot about money, the Toy Story film, which is why
everything they make is about money, isn't it?
I'm very hopeful for it.
Yeah, I will want to see it.
Oh, definitely.
And that's kind of the thing, is that they know that even people that maybe might not be that excited about a Toy Story movie will probably still see it because it's a Toy Story movie.
Exactly.
And there is relevance to it. There's still Toy Story in the park. A lot of parks now have got Toy Story playlands of one sort or another, depending on what park you're in. So it keeps those franchises alive, so to speak. So it does make a lot of sense to do it. And I will want to see it. So yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like when you get live action remakes of animated movies, I always cringe because I'm like, why? But ultimately, it is a money spinner because they will always bring in an audience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's move on a little bit, because let's talk about Tron Ares for a second, shall we? Can we just appreciate? I know there's been a lot of hesitation about this film because, again, it's another sequel. It's never going to live up to the OG film, simple as. But can we take a minute to appreciate how well they're marketing Tron Ares?
Oh, for sure.
They have marketed that really well. The trailer looks really interesting. They've made it look really spicy, really new. They've put that new red color in. And, the Tron ride is going to be red for a while. Yeah,
going fully red to sort of commemorate the fact that this new movie is coming out. I saw the trailer when I went to go and see Fantastic Four, and I must admit, for a Tron movie, I was quite excited. Part of that was because Jared Leto was in it, and I've always been a bit of a fan of his work, so I'm always quite excited to see what he does. More for his music than for his movies, but he has been in some good things. So I'd be up for seeing that, I think.
Next month, about a month's time.
Oh, not long to go. It's funny because actually in the last podcast that we did, we talked about
going
Tron.
To see this, yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, and we didn't know when it was coming. So only October the 10th, so we're actually a month away.
We are very close to it. Now, this is the next one that they big on. This is the big new one, Hexed.
Which is spooky to me. Obviously, it's called Hexed.
It's not that spooky.
No, but the thing that's spooky about it is that Disney have announced Hexed. Assassin's Creed have announced Hex. Project Hex. So to me, it just felt really spooky that those things have been tied in. So when they announced that, I got a bit confused. But it looked really cool. I liked the look of this, actually. I thought it was quite cool.
It does look... It very much plays off the sort of idea of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween a little bit. The only difference that they've made is the colour palette swap. So obviously the Hex has gone for a green palette, whereas Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween tends to go for the orange or the...
Orange and purple, usually.
Orange and purple palette. Now, the weird thing about this is this film is coming out after Halloween in 2026. It's coming out November 2026 rather than next year's Halloween, which is... That's the only thing about that film that I'm scratching my head about.
Yeah, I get it, because when they did the sequel for Hocus Pocus... Yes. I mean, that was literally intended for a Halloween release. So I don't know why they've not done the same thing with this. But it's still a good concept for a movie, so I'd still be interested to see it, I think. But yeah, the timing of it is very odd. Unless they've done it on purpose because they don't want it to compete with something else.
Yeah, we don't know what the other film companies are going to release for next Halloween. And if there's another Saw film or something, for example, that is going to scoop up all of the
so they may be doing it for a reason that we just don't know about.
Yeah.
Or they may even bring it forward. I mean, who knows? If they can get the production done fast, then they'll crack on with it. If Frozen 2 is anything to go by, they'll be editing it right up until the day of release. So you never know. They could well push it and try and get something out a little bit earlier if they can, to tie in with Halloween would make a lot of sense.
I mean, if they are opening like the week after Halloween, then that would be close enough.
Oh yeah,
they would get away with it. And again, they wouldn't be competing with the other film companies as much for the Halloween releases.
Yeah.
So there is some marketing sense there, but at the same time, there's also some marketing questions. Back to the next one.
Go on.
Going back again, it's Zootopia 2. I'm actually looking forward to this one.
Now, I'm pretty sure that we knew this was coming. We just didn't know when it was coming.
We didn't have much to go on it other than a logo.
Yeah.
That was all we had for the longest time. And now we've actually got concrete evidence that it's happening. And it's actually going to be.
So anticipated November 26, 2025. So it's only a couple of months away.
That's going to clash with MCM Birmingham.
Dun, dun, dun. Uh-oh. Oh no!
We might have to do a divide and conquer on that one, dude. I need to double check the dates of MCM Birmingham, but I might have to send you to watch this, and I'm gonna have to go film MCM Birmingham.
That's sad. Oh well, it depends.
I'll have to watch it when I get back. Don't spoil it for me between then, okay?
Very rarely will we actually watch something and vlog about it around the day of release. My exception to that would probably be when Infinity War and Endgame came out, where I made a big push of trying to get content out like on the release day or around it. Everything else we tend to leave about a week, usually, just so that some people have seen it, so they know what we're talking about, and we can talk about spoilers that way. So we could always go and see it the week after MCM, perhaps.
That would work, wouldn't it?
And do it that way.
As I said, I need to double check the dates of Birmingham MCM.
Yeah, I think you might be right, though, to be honest. I think you might be right.
But we'll work on that one later in the year. We've got time to plan that one. All right, another bit of nostalgia next is, of course, Phineas and Ferb. Did you ever watch this cartoon growing up?
No, I didn't. I know what it is. I know of it, but I must admit I'm probably a little bit too grey in the hair for that one, unfortunately.
So I actually watched this first as an adult. I was a young adult when I watched this for the first time, and I don't know why it took me so long to actually learn to get into and appreciate it, but I did eventually get there, and I'm actually happy that it's coming back.
It's happening. It is happening eventually. Disneyland Handcrafted was basically a behind the scenes, I believe, of actually creating Disneyland. So it's a bit of I can't even say it, Imagineering type documentary show.
Ooh.
So it's looking at a little bit of behind the scenes and a bit of a sneak peek as to the creation of Disneyland and it being built. So it probably will be quite similar to that other series that they did that I've already forgotten what it's called, where they talked about each theme park and its construction or a particular ride that they had there that came out when Disney Plus was launched. Because Paris features in it as well.
I know the thing you're on about, but I can't remember what it's called.
No.
I'm with you. But yeah,
I think it's a similar kind of thing. So it goes a little bit kind of, but it's behind the scenes stuff, essentially. But this is focusing purely on the original Disneyland.
Purely on Anaheim?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we've got a little look at, I'm assuming that this animatronic that they've featured here of Walt is going to be going into that documentary, or is this going to be its own independent thing?
No, this was a separate announcement. So this, many people will know that a Walt Disney animatronic has been put into Disneyland Anaheim.
I knew about that. Yeah.
So that's gone into, I can't actually remember the name of the building that it's gone into, but it's essentially along Main Street, pretty much as you first go in. So there's now somewhere you can go in and a Walt Disney robot effectively is talking to you. Now Orlando is getting one, but in a slightly different way from what I understand. I'm pretty sure that it's going into the Carousel of Progress. I can't actually see that written in front of me.
Yes, it is Carousel of Progress. It's right there.
So Carousel of Progress, when I went to Florida, was shut, so I didn't actually get to go on it. So I don't know what it looks like at the moment, but I know that essentially with the premise of what the ride is about. So now I think it will have a different ending, where essentially this new Walt Disney animatronic will appear towards the end of the show sequence. So it's a very different looking animatronic from the one in Anaheim, very much like Walt Disney in a different era from the other ones. So they will be different. They'll probably have the same voice technology. I imagine a lot of the features will be similar, but they'll be talking about different things because of the nature of the shows that they're in. So it's something very much for the American parks, that one. quite sad that Paris didn't get any real kind of announcements generally, but it would be nice one day to have a Walt Disney animatronic in Paris. But at the same time, I also understand why they won't, because he's never seen it. He'd never been there. He'd never been involved in the planning of it. It's very much a post Walt Disney park, as the rest of them are, other than the American ones. But it would be nice, as a Walt Disney history fan. I wouldn't say buff, because I don't know that much, but it would be nice one day to have a bit of nostalgia.
So now we've got some of the parks announcements again now. Oh, so this is the food panel one. So we've actually got new drinks on the menu at the Sanctum.
So
that's the Mirror Dimension at the Sanctum. So basically, that's the Scarlet Witch drink.
Scarlet Witch or Doctor Strange?
I'm gonna say that's the Scarlet Witch drink.
Would it not be, if it's in the Sanctum? Would it not be Doctor Strange?
Well, it would, but you got to remember, it's red.
It is red, but
and secondly, the Mirror Dimension is where Strange tried to trap Wanda. Remember?
That is true. But it basically looks like we've got some new drinks options that are coming. But the Sanctum, I don't actually know what that is, unless that's a new restaurant that's being opened up somewhere. And then we've got a new, what looks like a drink.
I'm not sure what that is, but it's to do with the Haunted Mansion.
It's the Haunted Mansion Parlour, which as I understand it, is a sort of restaurant or bar that's being opened up by, fun enough, the Haunted Mansion in Florida, I believe. So I don't know where or what the Sanctum is, but certainly the Haunted Mansion Parlour is going to be in Florida, I think. So they're just new drinks that they've been putting together for these new places that are coming out. So
Disney Villains, Icons of Evil panel. This is the one that
That's a great name for a panel, Icons of Evil. I like that.
Anyway, so they did the panel where they were talking about roughly what the villains land is going to look like when they do finally get it built. Now, they were instantly taking reference pictures from a lot of Europe.
So a lot of Paris.
Lots of Paris. And then there were something from Rome as well.
Possibly, but it's all very...
Or was it Greek? I'm not sure. There was multiple... European city locations that's got the really not creepy architecture.
Well,
otherworldly was the term that one of the ladies used.
The French one, for example, from the artwork that I had seen in the photography that had been taken, it looked like there was a lot of ironwork that was looked like vines. It did look quite good, but it was quite interesting because if they're doing that, then they're probably doing what I would say was a Disneyland Paris level of detail. Because I think that's what makes Paris better than the other parks.
Paris is the only park I've ever been to. I can't compare it.
So the American ones, there is a real lack of detailing, I find, whereas Paris really kind of went OTT with it. So they do notice a difference. Like Main Street in Florida, to me, feels a little bland.
Oh, wow.
Part of that is because it feels a little bigger, so everything is spaced out, and that space feels very empty. The color palette of it is a little bit less exciting. But when you think Paris has also got the arcades either side, they're very ornate, very, very detailed. The lights, the lampposts, even there's so many little hidden details. You go down Main Street in Paris, you've got the teacup on the side of the building where you get steam coming out of it and things like that. You get the little petrol pump station outside one of the shops as well. Those little details that Paris has. Florida's got nothing.
Oh wow! Blimey.
So it's there's a real difference between the two, and that is why a lot of people will say, arguably, that Paris is the prettiest park, and it's because of that real level that they went to with their architecture. Even the castle itself, the gold parts on the Paris castle has got like gold snails all the way along it, because it's obviously Paris. So it's got that Parisian feel to it, but it's
escargot.
But do you know what I mean? It's those little details on it that the American flags are stunning in their own way. But, Paris has just done something really different. The dragon under the castle, things like that.
Oh, yeah. Actually.
Main Street in Florida just felt very lacking to me for those reasons. So the fact that they're going and looking at French architecture and things like this for this new Villains Land, I hope means that it's like a massive step up in the immersion. So I'm really excited to see how it looks, because it looks like it could be incredible.
On the subject of the Florida castle, real quick. They announced that they're changing the color palette back to the...
Finally.
Okay.
Finally. Yeah.
You're on that bench. Okay.
I am on that bench for two main reasons. Okay. Two main reasons. Number one, you painted it pink and you just copied Paris, which to me I wasn't happy about. And number two, the reason why Paris was painted pink was because the French sky is a lot more grey than what Florida is. So you didn't have to have a bright pink castle in Florida, and it does look to me really weird. So going back to the original grey actually looks to me better.
Okay.
As long as the blue on the spires is nice and bright and vibrant, then I felt like the grey was actually a better colour for that park. The pink belonged in Paris because the sky is usually grey and raining. The pink castle was done for a reason, and it looked really good because of that. But I didn't like the fact that they were the same.
Oh, okay. I mean, if that is actually a valid argument, yeah, I'll give you that one.
It's all about skyline. See, it's these levels of detail that people just don't realise. If you ever do the Keys to the Kingdom tour in Florida, you learn so much about the Imagineering that goes on that most people will never even notice, but they see it and don't really understand why it's immersing them in an experience. But it is, they just don't realise why it's happening.
On the subject of castles, a new one is nearly complete in Paris.
Well, would you say that's actually complete? Because it looks complete.
I don't know. I mean, the trouble is, every time I see a post about it, they're always changing something about it.
I think it's done.
You think it's there?
I think it's there. I mean, it's the Ice Palace, isn't it?
Yes.
I can't think, because the bridge is on it. The little circular bit at the front where Elsa stands there and sings, that's on it. The bridge leading up to it.
I thought the spire had gone on yet.
Yeah, I think it's all on there.
Oh.
I think it's all on there.
We will confirm that next week.
Press play. Let's just have
let's have a quick gander. You called it. Yeah, so Ice Palace is officially complete.
But what I hadn't appreciated is that actually the Ice Palace and Arendelle Castle are two separate things. Technically, it's got two castles.
They have built two castles in one land,
and I hadn't appreciated that. So actually, there's two of them. The second one, the actual Arendelle Castle, might not yet be finished, but Elsa's Ice Palace is.
The guy has confirmed it. There you go, spring 2026.
Spring 2026.
We still don't have an actual date though.
Not an actual date.
It's less than just over 6 months.
Yeah, it's about 6 months, 6 to 7 months. I would still lean towards April the 12th being the anniversary date.
I wouldn't put it past them to open it on April 12th. Marketing-wise, that would make a lot of sense.
There or thereabouts. You know, they can combine different things. It kind of makes their job for an anniversary easier because they can just focus it entirely on the grand opening of a brand new land, and this is what we're doing to celebrate the anniversary without having to do anything else, particularly because it's not like a 30th or a 25th or 35th. You know, it's not like a round number year or a 5th year. So now that we're kind of in a random year, I think that's what they'll do.
On that note, we're less than a year and a half away from the 35th.
And nothing.
They've still given us nothing about what's happening for that.
So this is one of the things that wasn't announced.
This is one of the things that didn't come up, and I'm teensy little bit sad just because the 30th anniversary, they did do really, really well with that. And I'm hoping they're going to do really well again for the 35th. So still nothing yet on the 35th anniversary for Disneyland Paris, but the second we do hear something, we're going to be doing an oddcast about it.
Oh yeah, I mean the thing is that we'll be probably trying to book tickets instantly the moment that we know the dates of things and what's happening when and where and what they might be doing for it.
That would be a very expensive day.
Well, to go on the 12th, like on the actual day.
I'm thinking just to go to the 35th anniversary when they announce the dates of the celebration and stuff when it actually kicks off.
Oh yeah,
that's going to be a very expensive day.
Well, you went at least twice during the 30th.
I did.
Season. I went once.
Yeah, you went twice, didn't you?
No, just the once towards the end.
Oh, okay.
Of the season, you went twice.
I went twice.
Once at the same time as me.
And then once
before or after?
No, once was before because that's when I filmed Disney Dining Challenge Season 1.
Well, maybe you went 3 times then, because you were there at the very, very end of it.
Yeah, I was there. I did. So annoyingly, what actually happened was the 30th anniversary stuff was ending, and I was like, right, I've got to get one more trip in. I've got to get one more pineapple whip. I've got to get one more celebration cake. I got to get. I can't remember what the cocktail that I liked was called.
And then that cake in a mug thing that they had.
Yes,
things like that.
I had because
champagne.
Yep. I had to get an extra champagne flute. I had to get him an extra champagne flute. What else was there?
I don't know because that's way more than I ever did.
There was a lot going on, and don't get me wrong, it was great. I loved it, and I've still got a lot of the mugs and the champagne flutes.
Yeah, they're literally in the shelf next to us.
One of the ones that I managed to find for him is literally up there right now.
But you went towards the end.
I went towards the end, and then I had one when I did Disney Dining Challenge Season 2, and I think that was it.
Well, that was when I was there, so that must have been it then.
That was the last one. The last time I was there, because you were there for the last day.
No, I wasn't. No, we went in March.
I did get 3 then. Maybe.
And then the end of the season was in September. So I think you went 3 times during.
I might have had 3.
Well, it was also
because I remember being there for literally the day before 30th anniversary celebrations ended, because they had that very different show on that very last day, which I missed because I had to get on the train and I was
gutted.
Yeah. Crying, and fortunately I was able to find the final light show for 30th anniversary on YouTube, and I have saved it in my favorites, and I do watch it every now and then.
And you were definitely there in the March, because that's when I was there.
The March was when I launched the petition to keep the pineapple whip, which worked.
Well, yes. I mean, it kind of worked. It sort of worked in the sense that there still seems to be some for sale, but never when we're actually there to get it.
For all it's worth, I have seen other creators try to get the pineapple whip, and it is a bit of potluck whether that snack bar is open or not.
Yeah, well, we'll try.
We'll try.
I
do want pineapple whip again. Okay?
Well, the thing is, we have to have the pineapple whip because now you've had Dole Whip, and I need to try the other way round and see what's what.
You've not had pineapple whip.
Wow.
How?
I mean, the fact that you hadn't had Dole Whip and you call yourself a Disney fan is just...
I'm a Disney fan that's trapped in Europe.
Fair.
I've not made it across the pond yet.
All right, one day. One day.
So this is the stuff about the concept art for the new castle. And let's be brutally honest, if they did actually put Cinderella's carousel...
I think that's just a bit of blue sky artistry. I don't think that's actually a thing.
It would be so cool if they did, though.
Yeah, I don't think they will. Because the thing is, the parade route runs right through there. So.
Well, they could make the carousel part of the... not the carousel, chariot part of the parade.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. It's Cinderella's castle, though, isn't it? So that's why they've done it.
That's why they've got it. Ooh, now, this I was actually quite excited about. So, this is one of the Disney Plus things. It's the Disney 80s and 90s celebration, which, given that you and I are very much 80s and 90s kids, I know you were slightly into the 80s. I was definitely in 90s. We were both naughties.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the time as well. And it was the fact that Max came out when they announced this. Like, yeah. I'm assuming you've watched Goofy Movie.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Okay. So, Goofy Movie is definitely within my top 3.
Of, like, just Disney or animated? Or
classic Disney animations.
Okay.
That's definitely within my top 3. And there are photos online of me hugging Max somewhere.
Okay.
Because
not seen those.
Well, Max is one of the main characters on Main Street in Paris.
True. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So, like that one, he comes out in the Powerline outfit as well. And yeah, I had the Powerline fan print t-shirt.
Oh, wow, you were really into it.
I went for it.
See, the thing is with me is that although as a kid I had an appreciation for Disney things, I didn't really appreciate that it was Disney. And I didn't actually become a supposed Disney fan until I was an adult. No. So, but there were certainly things as a kid. Like my favourite animation would be Peter Pan.
Okay.
For sure.
Fair choice, yes.
That was always a bit of a classic to me. I still like that even now.
Yeah. I mean, Mulan is my number 1.
Thing is with that, I feel like it stands the test of time. The animation in it is really, really good. I love Peter Pan's flight. It's never been open when we've been.
It's not going to be open when we're there this time either.
No, I don't think it is.
Because every time we go past it, it's a mile long, and the only way you get on it without wasting your entire day is by buying fast pass.
It's a bit of an extra magic hours ride if you can get there.
We'd have to rope drop it if we are ever to do it.
But I do think it is shut again. I've got a funny feeling that it might be. But we shall find out soon.
Yes.
Soon. So one of the things that weirdly isn't on this list then that I do know was done at this D23, we'll call it D23, was that they did have a Marvel panel.
Yes, they were talking about Doomsday a little bit.
They were talking about Doomsday. I believe that a video was played with a sort of kind of teaser. I wouldn't call it a trailer. I'd say it was a teaser. And I think the Russo brothers came out and were talking about it as well, saying that it was like the biggest movie that they'd ever done, which I thought was quite a statement, given that they'd done Infinity War.
I was about to say they're going up against Endgame, for crying out loud.
I know.
It's not going to be easy for them.
So we obviously haven't seen what was done in this. It's not a trailer.
Sneak peek, as you
Sneak peek. There was a bit of behind the scenes stuff and a bit of joking with Paul Rudd and things like that. There's been a lot of heavy rumors flying around this week that Robert Downey Jr. wanted to walk out of it, but I don't know how true that is.
I get the feeling he would have, but I'm assuming a budget somewhere or a manager somewhere said no.
There's no way RDJ is walking out of a Marvel project. I just don't see it happening. No. So whatever that was, seems to...
Also, the internet would have gone into an absolute frenzy if he had.
Well, it had started to, which is the only reason I'd seen it. But it was kind of... I think it all hinges on RDJ now, the way that they've set up the storyline. You also need to see Fantastic Four, by the way.
I know.
Well, actually, you don't. There's nothing in it that sets up or connects to anything else. So actually, you don't need to see it. I just am conscious.
I want to go see it.
Oh yeah, it's worth watching.
Watch it.
It's worth watching.
Okay.
But it's got no spoilers in it as far as Doomsday is concerned.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
There's no connection.
What I'm curious about is how they're going to tie that back into 626.
Well, yes, because that's always the thing at the moment, is that we've got a lot of multiversal stuff going on. I haven't yet watched Ironheart.
There's 3 universes going on at the moment, isn't there? There's Deadpool's one, Deadpool and Wolverine one.
The Deadpool and Wolverine one, yeah.
626.
626.
And the one... The Fantastic Four, I can't remember
the Fantastic Four, that one, I can't remember the number, but it's definitely a different one.
And then technically you got the other 2 Spider-Man ones as well, but they've sort of had their storylines not written out, but concluded, I think is the...
Yeah, but they do still exist as such. Yes. So you've got the 2 Spider-Man ones. You've also got the... I mean, in actual fact...
Into the Spider-Verse, that's a different universe
That's
a
different universe. You've also got everything that happens in all of the What If shows.
Yes.
I mean, there's an infinite number of... I mean, literally every episode is a different universe. And there's been 3 seasons with probably, let's say on average, 10 episodes in a season. I don't know if that's right.
I'd have to check.
That's 30 different universes straight off the bat with that. They're going to do Marvel Zombies, which will probably be another one again. You've also got alternate dimensions that will feature in Doctor Strange, would technically count as being different.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the ones that are actually going to connect.
Well, the thing is, we don't know what will and what won't. So there's also rumours that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. universe might come back into it because it's splintered off. So where originally the first couple of seasons were connected to 626, it then splintered off because the studios fell apart basically and had a big argument. So they stopped combining the storylines. So about halfway through, it starts being its own thing. And when Ghost Rider turns up is roughly the time that they start having alternate universes happening. But Ghost Rider himself came from a different universe again. So his one was a different one. And then there's different versions of Ghost Rider. And, we can just go on endlessly. You've also got...
And I was teasing one of my mates about the mess that the DC multiverse has got itself into recently.
The difference with Marvel is that it's almost intentional. And it sort of works. But when Doomsday comes around, you're at least dealing with, let's say, 6 different universes that need to be tied in one way or another somehow.
They've got to conclude some of these multiverses, otherwise it's all going to...
They've got to bring it in. I have a lot of theories that I've spoken about in vlogs before, but it's all not messy. If you were a really casual Marvel movie watcher and you went to go and see Fantastic Four, you probably would be sat there thinking, how does this connect to anything else? Because they don't reference Avengers or anybody. There's no obvious connection, and it says at the beginning of the movie that it's Earth whatever number, which is different to the one we know about. But if you weren't really heavily into Marvel, that would mean nothing to you. So it was a little bit strange, and I think this is part of the problem with Marvel movies now, is that if you don't pay a lot of attention, it makes no sense to an average movie-going person. It is just too confusing.
The casual fans have kind of not been excluded, but they're
not being pushed out, but it's almost a case of, I think, taken for granted.
Yes.
Really, because they're not really being made for them in some ways. You've also got probably a large amount of people that go to the cinema that don't subscribe to Disney Plus that will have no clue who Ms. Marvel is, for example, or Daredevil or Punisher. I've never seen or heard of these
Jessica
people.
Jones.
Yeah, and then when they do turn up in movies like Ms. Marvel did, and Monica Rambeau and all those kinds of people, that it probably, part of the reason why I didn't think it performed well was because no one knew who those people were.
It threw a lot of people off.
Yeah. So it's a little bit messy. So they didn't really announce anything, didn't really say anything, didn't really do anything.
They stuck to their guns on the Marvel that they've already got going, and
but
played it safe on that one.
But even worse, more for you than for me,
there was nothing for Star Wars.
I've seen
literally nothing.
No headlines at all. I think they may have just simply stated what we already knew was coming. So like Ahsoka Season 2, for example.
So Ahsoka Season 2, we know about. Another season of Star Wars Visions we already knew about. And then the funny thing was, this actually came up on my TikTok rather than on D23. And that was the new Lego Star Wars series, Season 2. I don't know if you've seen Season 1.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. Well, I didn't know that they were doing a Season 2. There's also a Darth Maul series that they're supposed to be making.
Again, I think that's still a little ways off. But
yeah.
Again, I was expecting some sort of update about all those things to be announced. Like just give us an update on them. Like, how are they doing? What's going to be the more accurate release dates and things like that. And
well, the funny thing about this is that we started talking about this on the train, and someone overheard us, and they were basically saying that the reason why they didn't announce anything for Star Wars is because a lot of the things that they've made recently have just been so bad. I mean, it's, they make stuff that I think you can't please everybody. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you're either going to go one side of the fence or the other, and someone is going to get upset about it. I mean, I've seen all kinds of rumors flying around whether they'll do another series of The Acolyte or not. It was
Acolyte. I'm fairly certain they're not.
Well, I mean, I've seen it, but the difficulty is a lot of the times now you can't tell whether an online rumor is true.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're very believable when they get put out. So it's hard to know really exactly what's going to happen.
As much as everybody disses The Acolyte, and I'm not going to lie, there were lots of down moments in that series. But can we talk about that highlight for a moment, that cameo?
Which one?
The one right at the end.
Oh.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert right now.
I know who you mean.
Darth Plagueis the Wise. He was there in flesh and blood.
Yeah, but they then scrapped the show and said that it was taken off the shelf.
They've taken Acolyte away. But Acolyte Season 1 is still canon. They've put Darth Plagueis the Wise in the cinematic world of Star Wars. They can do something with that now.
They could. I just don't know that they will.
Don't break my heart like that, you evil man.
I just don't want to get your hopes up. Because I've also seen a lot of rumours that they were going to do like a Palpatine series as well, like a young Palpatine series, which would probably tie
into Darth Plagueis.
Yeah, exactly. So, they may go down that road. There's a lot of rumours about
mad at that.
Whether they do it or not, though, that's another thing.
I know. It's a good idea, though.
I saw a timeline that got put up of all of the movie projects that are coming. The new Rey movie is still going ahead, as far as I'm aware. Personally, I would be excited about. I like Rey.
Okay.
So I would be happy to see that.
I think she deserves another chance as a character, because the trouble is in the sequel trilogy, she did kind of get done dirty, especially in that second film. Third one, they kind of sort of, and then they kind of brought it back, and they kind of did her a bit of justice, and then they didn't do her justice again. And I'm like, a proper writer needs to give her a proper chance and let that character develop.
Oh, for sure. I think that was the problem. She was just very badly written.
Yes.
Previously. So I'm excited to hopefully see that carry on and go ahead. And there had been a few other separate trilogies that had been planned, including by the director whose name I can't pronounce, who did the Thor movies. Tahiti.
I know the guy you're on about.
I can't say it. I can't pronounce it.
I'm hoping our audience knows who they're on about as well. Text of the actual name.
Yeah, you know who I mean. But it's I'm apprehensive for that, because what he did with Love and Thunder, it's the worst movie I've ever seen. It's the worst movie I've ever seen. I cannot tell you how painful that was for me, that film. It's not just the worst thing in the MCU. I mean, literally stone dead last as to the worst thing in the MCU. But it's the worst movie that I forced myself to sit there and watch all the way through, which I only did.
Put it lower than Avatar?
100%.
You never even finished Avatar.
And I'd still put it lower than Avatar. I just got a bit bored with Avatar, but I didn't hate it. I hated Love and Thunder, like with Venom. It's horrendous. I don't like what he's done to Thor's character for a start, because he's turned a really cool, epic character, a god, into a walking joke. He's just the comedy relief and the clown of a character, but that's wrong. He shouldn't be. It was funny in like the first time round, but the jokes then just get really, really pretentious and just,
they beat the joke too much.
Yeah, way too much
out of it.
Those screaming goats that.
Hey, that made me giggle. That actually took me back to the actual screaming goats meme with the Taylor Swift track, and that just made me giggle.
But after the first time, it doesn't carry the humor. It just becomes irritating. Okay. The villain again was done dirty. That was terribly written. Another really dodgy Marvel villain, but this was one of the worst ones. You also had characters in there like the Greek god characters. So I think you had Zeus in there, for example. I think you had Hercules in there as well. Again, all done dirty, all done into really comedy relief characters, not serious. They're gods, for crying out loud. They're supposed to be incredible and epic and godly, not just walking jokes and cameos to get actors in it for no good reason. So just horrendously produced, very badly written. I absolutely detest that director with an absolute passion. And if he touches Star Wars, he's gonna ruin it. Sorry, that was very weird.
Is that your rant over?
Yeah, I'll be quiet now.
You okay? I see your concerns. But as someone who appreciates that kind of comedy a little bit more, I am going to have to respectfully disagree with you.
Okay.
Thor: Love and Thunder, although no way near as good as some of the older Marvel films, it still played its role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And there were lots of points that I actually enjoyed.
What point did it play in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? He ends up with a kid by the end of it.
Exactly. It's part of his character progression, that.
I mean, yeah.
Like he's become
I feel so bad for that character. Like he's just gone from being like a little bit dumb in the first one, but
he was always a little bit dumb.
Yeah, but it was not funny dumb. It was actually that he just needed to grow up and become more serious, which by Thor 2 he does.
Yes.
And it becomes a much more serious role.
And in Avengers as well.
And in Avengers. Yeah, and in the second one as well. Then by the time that Thor 3 comes along, which actually I like.
I will agree. The comedy in that one was better.
Yeah, partly because it was the first time we'd seen it done that way, in my opinion, but it was also less heavy. And I felt like the connection with everything was much better. So the weight of what happens at the end of that story connects in then with what happened in Infinity War. It connected in really well with that. The story was okay. The characters were good. There was a lot of comedy, but it didn't feel too much.
It wasn't forced.
No. Whereas in the fourth one, in Love and Thunder, everything just goes too far, and just kind of tries to replicate what happens in the third one, but just goes too extreme with it. So the characters just become really dumb and stupid and laughable. Jane Foster in it was good, but again, I felt a bit wasted because she didn't survive by the end of it. So where'd you go with that? What was the point of it?
I think it's more because they were trying to introduce Valhalla at the end. And minor spoiler alert, but at the end she ends up in what is essentially Valhalla.
Yeah.
Which, rightly so, it ties that world into 626.
Yeah.
So it's a branch that they can use. Like, so with actually no, that one doesn't fit because that's the wrong Loki. Even I'm getting.
Yeah, it gets really weird.
I'm getting the timeline.
That's another thing as well. As Loki's a different universe technically as well, because he's
626 Loki is, minor spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, I mean he went a long time ago. Infinity War was when he died, so it was a different.
Major spoiler alert there, guys.
Oh come on! I mean these are old movies. If you haven't seen these by now, what are you doing? So I won't talk about anything that came out this year.
Okay.
Let's leave it at that. But the connectivity from Love and Thunder to anything else, like, okay, maybe his character develops a little bit in the sense that he ends up with a kid by the end of it, but there's no, like, we may never see him again. Like he could go off into the wilderness now and we would never see him again. There's no actual cliffhanger ending or connection into what happens next. Part of that is because they didn't even know themselves when they were making it. So fair enough. But
that's more to do with Hemsworth's personal life more than anything.
Possibly. But I know that Chris Hemsworth has said he doesn't want to work with that director again.
Well, there you go. You've got hope for the future then. It's okay.
Yeah.
If he does do more Marvel films,
just won't do it for that.
Me who's in trouble with the Star Wars film.
Oh, I mean, this is the thing. I think that back on track with the Star Wars stuff, if that director touches Star Wars, he's going to want to put his own spin on it, as he does with everything he touches. It doesn't work in the Star Wars universe. To me, you can't have that kind of humor in Star Wars. For me, it's not meant to be funny. Like, it has humorous moments in it, like Han Solo drops a joke and it actually lands because it's off center a little bit in the way that it works. But if you put Star Wars in the hands of that guy, it's just going to be.
I love how you don't say his name like he's or something like that.
It's only because I can't pronounce it, and if I try, I'm just gonna do him no justice, and maybe he probably prefers
justice anyway.
I don't hate him as a person.
Oh right, okay, sorry. I was getting too deep there. Sorry.
I just don't like his work.
Okay,
but it's like, you know, I can't see his style working in the Star Wars franchise. I just don't see how that blends at all. So I would worry if they were still going to do that.
The only reason I was worried about it was because we are 18 months, a year and a half away from 50th anniversary of New Hope.
Very true.
Got nothing.
Mm-mm.
Like, we were given, for Pixar in particular, we were given up until the end of 2027 as a rough timeline of what they were doing, what projects where. Nothing for Star Wars.
No, nothing for Star Wars.
I know they've got the little miniseries and things, coming out, the Disney Plus specials and all the rest of it, but
yeah, but that's it.
It was all the projects that we already knew about before we even got to this year's D23.
I wonder if I kind of feel like, because isn't Kathleen Kennedy supposed to be going by the end of the year? I'm pretty sure that she's out of Lucasfilm by the end of 25.
She signed a 3-year extension in 2021, but a subsequent report from the Hollywood Reporter in late 24 indicated she will stay through 2025. So it does look like...
And then tends to retire after her contract ends. I mean, to be fair to her... She's
already extended her contract twice.
It says that she would retire at the end of 2025. She's actually been involved in Lucasfilm a lot longer than you realise. I mean, she was involved in the original Indiana Jones. Well, no, I mean, the original Indiana Jones films. She was working on those. Not in the same role as she does now with Lucasfilm, but she was involved in that. So she's actually been working with them a lot longer than you think. And who her replacement will be is also open to debate. It could be a number of different people would probably want to step in, or could step in, or fans would want to step in. But ultimately, I wonder if maybe they're not really announcing anything at the moment because they're more worried about that.
But that is an appropriate thing to be worried about, though.
Oh yeah, who's actually in charge?
Yes.
And making the decisions. So it could just simply be a case of that they're waiting to make a call on that, so that then whoever does come in knows what they're doing. There is one thing that's coming though that was on that timeline that I saw, is the Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
Yes, we've known about that project for a while, and I am very, very excited for this film.
It's like the one good thing that's recognised by all Star Wars fans is that Mando is just awesome, and Grogu.
About to say, don't you dare miss out Grogu on that sentence, but you
recovered
Baby
Yoda. Baby Yoda.
No, he's definitely Grogu now. He was only Baby Yoda for season 1.
I still, ever since day one and to now, I still think at some point he's gonna die.
I hope not.
Because he's not in the sequels, right? So what happens to him? But
I'm assuming he goes back into hiding.
I don't know, because it could end up being in the same way that Ahsoka wasn't in the originals.
Exactly.
You know, they just don't happen to be around. But it could be that Grogu gets killed and that his Jedi DNA or Force DNA is used to create the Palpatine zombie. Just possibly.
So that second bit, that theory could hold.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it, no, that's not holding. I want him living. Okay? If he does that, I am going to be drinking myself into a stupor that day.
I mean, I'll hold out hope that he might appear in the Rey movie as well, and that they'll recreate a Jedi temple.
I don't see Rey being a good teacher to him, though. That's the only thing.
Maybe they could bring in other people. There's bound to be other Jedis. I mean, Finn is supposed to be Force sensitive as well, so you know he might be around.
They honestly, I mean, that was one of the things that did piss me off about.
Yeah, they didn't. They set it up and then did nothing with it.
Exactly, and then they tried to bring it back. It's like, should have done it.
Yeah, it was like such an afterthought. That movie was such a mess.
That was the trouble with the director's changeover, and
they all went through so many different directors and script changes. A lot of actors were pulled
over as well.
Yeah, big time. So if Grogu doesn't die, though, I hate to say, I think Mando will, and I suspect he's probably more likely as the father figure.
I would. Honestly, if either of them goes, I am definitely going to cry. But the Mando, I would actually recover from.
I love that.
I know that's harsh,
Oh,
but I would actually recover from that one rather than if Grogu goes, I'm not recovering from that, dude.
I mean, gotta be really careful if I take you to the cinema to go and see that. Then bring tissues.
We could both be coming out crying, screaming, snotty messes. Couldn't
No,
we?
I shall hold it together purely so I can be your rock throughout the whole thing.
You got no hope.
No, I know. No, I got no hope at all. But it will. I don't know when it's coming out. I don't know what the dates are. Probably in the next couple of years, I would think. 2026.
Not long.
Not long.
22nd of May 2026. That's the scheduled UK release date. I mean, given how big an event Endgame and Infinity was, like, that just made marketing sense.
I feel like maybe that's one of the reasons why Marvel feels like a little bit not weak to me now, but a little bit less exciting, is because it's really difficult to live up to that hype.
Okay, so that's just a completely different issue. So they had to they've built up that tension, that story for however many decades it was.
Oh, it was good. It was a good 10
time.
years. Yeah, it was a good 10 years.
And then they've had to dial it back down.
Mm.
And the ones that grew up with that original build-up, I wonder if it's just they're not adjusting well to that dial back down.
Oh, probably not. I mean, they've kind of killed off a lot of my favourites, and they're not coming back. And the thing is, as well, is that if they did come back, then it makes their deaths meaningless, and the whole multiverse kind of things, it kind of just, like, for example, with Tony Stark, obviously he is the best example because everyone was really upset when he went, the way it happened, and the big hero ending, and all this kind of thing, and he